So thank you for joining the session. So my name is Xiao Keng Ling from the Singapore Management University. In the brochure, some part they say I'm from City University of Hong Kong. I was there 3 months ago. I moved to Singapore 3 months ago. So I'm now at Singapore Management University. So here's a brief bio of me. So I'm the Lee Kong Chiang Professor of Information Systems. I don't have a company. As I say, if you know what you're doing, you practice. If you do not know what you're doing, you go and teach. So I'm a scholar. I teach most of the time, my whole life. Okay. So that's some of my information. So Olivia, my classmate and good friend, said, Ken, can you talk about this humanoid adoption in Industry 5.0? I say, okay, so let me discuss a bit about this adoption issue. So we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're talking about Industry 5.0. So what's Industry 5.0? We're looking at human-robot collaboration. Okay, we look at customization, cognitive systems. And later on, I'll try to illustrate and discuss, is this Industry 5.0 different from Industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0? If they are not the same, so what should we expect about this adoption issue? So we discussed a bit, like Francisco and our Japanese colleague, about these types of AI. So most of the AI at this point in time, we are looking at the left-hand side, the artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, like your self-driving car, your Siri on your iPhone. Now, we are talking a bit about this artificial general intelligence at this point in time. It's getting more and more important. Francisco sort of has some concern about that coming up, and then we'll discuss a bit more about that later on. And the main concern about AGI is that once you hit AGI, or the artificial general intelligence, almost instantaneously, you will get this artificial super intelligence, much smarter than us, smarter than a human being. And that is the main concern that people have. ANI, artificial narrow intelligence, yes, we are concerned, but not too much. In China, our Guangdong's friend, I think probably not here anymore. In China, I think 5 or 6 cities, their taxis are all now self-driving taxi. So their taxis are driverless taxi. Okay, and of course, human taxi drivers are complaining. Okay, you're replacing my job. Now I have no job to do. So what do you want me to do now? I'm a taxi driver. So about maybe before the pandemic, 6, 7 years ago, I was in the US. So I was interviewed by this Trucker Association radio channel. They are very concerned about driverless truck. If you go to the US, how many of you are from the US? Okay, you are from the US, you go to the US, you go onto the highway, you can see a lot of trucks. A lot of trucks. Why? Because that's a good way of making a middle-class income. Middle-class income. Now maybe not so good, but 10 years ago, it's a good way to have a middle-class income without much education, except that you can drive a truck, drive long hours. And in a lot of counties and cities, you see a lot of drivers, truck drivers. They make good money. So they are very concerned about driverless trucks. So that time, 6, 7 years ago, they talked to me and said, wow, what do you think? Are we going to be concerned about this AI having consciousness? They say probably not, because AI is machine will not have consciousness. So I say, wow, you look at it, we are human. Do you know what is consciousness? You ask a psychologist, they say, I don't know. We just don't think that we have consciousness. So if we do not understand consciousness, why can we say that the AI will not have consciousness? So there's a lot of debate on that, and that's becoming a lot of importance as the AI becoming more and more intelligent. So my task is to look at the adoption. So as a scholar, I pull out all the theories related to adoption. So this is one of them. So adoption, you have this curve. Either you're on the left-hand side or you're on the right-hand side. If you're in a high-tech company, you're probably on the left-hand side. You are the innovators, or at least you are the early adopters of new technology, or early majority. Now, your service company technology is not so important to you, or your company's operation, you may be on the right-hand side. You are the late majority, or you're the laggards. You are just followers. Okay, not so important to you. Now, technology is becoming more and more important though. Okay, this may be somewhat true 20 years ago, but nowadays, if you look at technology, it's impacting every company, every organization. So if you are planning to be a laggard, you better think about whether that will cause a major competitive disadvantage to your company. Okay, very important. Okay, don't be a laggard just because you don't want to follow the technology. You must think about what is the impact of technology to your organization. It's very important, impactful. You better want to be on the left-hand side and not the right-hand side, right? So that's one thing about the adoption curve. Now, in the area of information systems, we have a number of adoption theories, how people adopt new technologies. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of them. It all boils down to basically two things. You can expand it because you can have one thing and expand into those sub areas. Basically two things. If you ask me to work with a robot, okay, ask me to work with AI, what's the first thing that comes to my mind? Is that easy to use? I had to spend 3 years learning how to work with the robots. I say, forget it. I'm not going to work with the robots. Okay, is it easy to use? Most important thing. Second most important thing, is it good for me? You ask me to work with a robot. What's in it for me? What's in it for my team? What's in it for my organization? Does that make sense? Okay, is it easy to use? Is it important for me? Is it good for me? Is it good for my team? Is it good for my organization? Now, if you are very think even further, like Confucius, is it good for my country? Okay, ask me to work with a robot. Is it good for me? Good for my team? Good for my organization? Good for my country? And first one, is it easy to use? Two main points. Ease of use, usefulness. Okay, ease of use and usefulness. So this all boils down to the 2 points. So we come back to the Industry 5.0. So we are looking at AI, we are looking at humanoid robots. Are they the same as other innovations? Okay, are they the same as other innovations? So of course you see this guy, Elon Musk, he's on the news lately, a lot of time. He's giving away $1 million a day for people to sign up to vote for the in the US election. All right, Elon Musk. Okay, he said that there will come a point where no job is needed. AI will be able to do everything. Okay. I remember that probably 3 years ago, when I was in Hong Kong, City University of Hong Kong, 2 DBA students talked to me after I gave them orientation. So the 2 DBA students talked to me. They said, okay, my kids are about 5 years old. So can you tell me, what should they be studying? Okay, what should my kids be studying so that they are AI proof? They have a job 20 years later and they are not replaceable by AI. I say, well, I cannot tell you. You're asking me to predict 20 years down the road. Okay, that's impossible. So I say, but you guys are rich. Continue to be rich so that your kids has many options. Okay, it's not a good answer. Basically telling them to just accumulate wealth to prepare for the inevitable. But that's a good point. Elon Musk was asked the same question. Eventually, I found out this one. The video clip on Elon Musk. About probably 3-4 years ago, the reporter asked Elon Musk, you have a few kids. What will you tell your kids to be doing in the future? Okay, what would you want your kids to be doing in the future? So Elon Musk, he thought about that for 26 seconds. They timed it. 26 seconds, he was silent. He was thinking, this is a difficult question. Eventually, he said, what? Well, they can do whatever they want to do. So there's basically no answer. Right? But he's rich, so his kids will be probably okay. He's the richest man on earth, I think. Yeah, so his kids will be okay. So of course, Elon Musk nowadays, he's more pro-AI now. 1 year ago, he was a bit more against AI. Now he's a bit more pro-AI. because he moved a lot of investment into AI. Stephen Hawking, most of you will know him. I think it's from Cambridge University. He passed away about 4 or 5 years ago. He's the one who wrote the book, Brief History of Time, about black hole. A very famous scientist. He is very concerned about AI. Okay, AI might capture the world, replace human altogether. So he said we are at the most dangerous moment of artificial intelligence or in development of humanity. The rise of AI is likely to extend job disruption deep into the middle class. Only the most caring, creative, and supervisory roles will remain. I wrote a few papers on this as well. I also say that creativity very important, innovation very important, 3-4 years ago. But when this Gen AI came out, ChatGPT, Sora, the machine is pretty creative. You cannot say it's not creative. It's pretty creative. Okay, when this ChatGPT 4 first came out, I was having a discussion with 10 of my students, PhD students. So I said, well, let's test it. Let's test this ChatGPT 4. So for those of you familiar with the Chinese sword fighting novels, you have this famous guy called Jin Yong. He wrote a lot of very famous sword fighting novels. So I said, wow, ask the ChatGPT 4 to write a paragraph based on Jin Yong's style. Okay, not replicate. Jin Yong has certain style of writing. Okay, base it on his style of writing, write one paragraph. So very fast it came out. I said, no, not bad. It looks like Jin Yong style. So I said, wow, it may just be coincidental. Change it, same question, but write in Gulong style. Gulong is a very famous sword fighting novels writer as well in Taiwan. One's in China, one's in Taiwan. Their writing styles are very different. Jin Yong is very detailed in the sword fighting. Gulong's sentences are very short. Okay, so same question to the ChatGPT 4. It can write in Gulong style. So I was surprised. Wow, this machine is smart. It's not stupid. He understands what is the style of Jin Yong, what's the style of Gulong. Very difficult. Okay, very difficult to accomplish that. And he wrote in Chinese. So we come to a point in time that the AI development is creating a lot of anxiety. It's so good. It can write music, it can write poems, it can compose songs. So a lot of things it can do now. So it's not that the creative job, innovative jobs are beyond the pursuit of AI. They are getting there. They are getting there. So we are not talking about AGI. We are talking about Gen AI, generative AI, like ChatGPT and Sora. So what's the impact of this Gen AI on job market? Banking, okay, the dark purple one, okay, more than 50% can be automated. Insurance company, almost 50% can be automated. So we look at this, okay, the Gen AI is going to have a huge impact on the job market. And so that's something that people are concerned about. Now, this one came out about 3-4 years ago, before the pandemic. I remember giving a talk on this before the pandemic. So it says that when you look at the industrial revolution in the past, it created the working class. The working class. Now, the AI revolution will create a new unworking class. What does that mean, unworking class? People are not temporarily out of jobs. Not temporarily out of jobs. They are permanently jobless. They just cannot get a job. Permanently jobless. Okay, so that's a concern that we have. And I don't like the name, but it's a name that was given by this guy, this historian, Israeli historian, the useless class. They are not going to contribute anything to the economy. It's useless. They cannot get a job. So if you look at the past, what do people do? Like, I'm from Singapore. Went back to Singapore. Singapore is an aging population, same as Japan, okay, aging population. A lot of old people. In the past, what do? You have a lot of old people, you want to have more babies, so that babies will grow up and they will make money, they will pay taxes, you will support the old person, the retired person. Okay? So More babies, good, because it supports the aging population. Now, if we are going to have a lot of this big group of useless class, people not getting a job, you want to have more babies? Something you need to think about. Instead of them, 20 years later, contributing to the economy by having a job, by paying taxes, they will need social security. They are out of job. You have to pay them something. Otherwise, they cannot survive. And how long you have to pay them? Not 20 years. You have to pay them like 80 years or 90 years. Am I right? A person will live around 80, 90 years. So the assumption that having baby is good, okay, it's probably good, but we need to think about that. Let's assuming they can get a job. They can pay taxes, and the taxes can be used to support the people, old people without jobs. But if that assumption is wrong, then you have a big problem. Okay, so what I'm trying to hint at is that as we move along in this AI revolution, it may result in a fundamental change of our whole system, our whole economy, how we collect taxes, okay, how we support the people without job, the homeless, okay, the people without income. Okay, so that's something we need to think about. The whole system may change. So you look at the development, quickly run through it. ChatGPT 1, 2, 3, 4, 3.5, and 4. The important thing is that you look at number of parameters they are having. 1 trillion parameters. That's a lot of parameters. Okay, 1 trillion parameters. So it's getting more and more powerful. Now, of course, Francisco is right that it consumes a lot of energy. As you move along, you probably need a nuclear reactor beside the center. Right? Otherwise, you not enough energy to run it. And what are they trying to look at now? They're not trying to look at 5 GPU or 10 GPU. They are looking at 1 million GPU. 1 million GPU to run the machine. Okay, that is huge. Okay. So there's a lot of things we need to think about as well. I just saw something from my friend. He says that, okay, the way we do AI research may need to change. That's probably true as well. We try to do AI research. We buy 2 GPU. We buy 10 GPU. And we're trying to compete with organizations running 1 million GPU. Okay, what kind of problem can you solve? Okay. When people have 1 million GPU, we have 10. And you look at ChatGPT 4 exam performance, you say they are not smart. They are pretty smart. Bar exam on the top left. Okay, I can see. So the GPT-4 is better than GPT-3 and better than average students. Okay, LSAT is a bar exam as well. Bar exam. Okay, again, ChatGPT-4 is better than average student. SAT score, you want to go to US to study, you need to do SAT. Okay, GPT-4 is better than average students. GRE, you want to do graduate study. Okay, GRE is better, way better than average student. Biology, okay, way better. Chemistry, Olympia, much better. So just now, Olivia was saying that our smart genius, Albert Einstein, very smart guy. Okay, does Albert Einstein know law? I don't think so. He probably said, I do not know law. Okay, can he take the law exam or the bar exam? He probably said, don't bother me about that. Okay, can he do biology? Probably not. All right, so ChatGPT-4 can do all this. Okay, better than average student, and some much better. And Francisco talked about this AGI. Now, people are really concerned now. So a lot of people are saying, stop building AGI. Okay, don't build AGI, artificial general intelligence, because it's going to be very dangerous. Okay, once you have something that's smart, okay, it's very dangerous to control it. So when is AGI happening? This one is probably a few months old. The latest forecast, or the latest prediction by Elon Musk, is 2025. Now we are October 20. Is it October? End of October, 2024. So 2025, AGI is coming. Most likely will come somewhat in some form or shape in a ChatGPT 5. Okay, people are expecting that. So ChatGPT 5 will probably have some form of AGI inside there. So just before the pandemic, there's a survey, I think in Europe or UK, and they asked the scientists, when will AGI happen? Some say never. Some say 30 years later. Some say maybe 40 years later. Some say 20 years later. Okay, now it's happening now. Okay, that's only a few years after they did the survey. And Elon Musk is saying that about probably next year. Okay, 2025. AGI is probably in some form will appear. Now, we talk about income. Probably you guys heard about this universal basic income. Okay, they have tried out in different places, Europe, America, and some in Canada as well. Okay, what does that mean? If you are a survivor, you are alive, you have a heartbeat, you are walking, they give you some money. Everybody will get some money. What's the reason for that? In preparation that you guys will not have a job in the future. Then you have a basic income to survive. Okay? Now, Elon Musk is calling that universal high income. He wants to change the B, UBI to UHI, universal high income. So he's predicting a future of plentiful. He said plentiful. AI will be able to create so many hamburgers, so many drinks, so many nice sofa bed, so many nice houses. You can get them all for free. Okay, so that is the future that he's envisioning. In the future, it's a future of plentiful. Okay. So we realize that probably Industry 5.0 may be different from 1, 2, 3, 4. So what's the difference? In the past, it helped us to become more productive. Now, 5.0 is that we are working together with humanoid robots. Okay. And the humanoid robots may one day take away our jobs, make us jobless, or be much smarter than us. So the adoption becomes very different. Okay, am I going to work with a robot that one day will kick me out of job and take over my job and make me jobless? Okay, so there's a lot of concern there. That's why the adoption is very different. Now, not just looking at, is it easy to use or is it useful for me? But also, what's my survival rate? Okay, is it going to be a threat to my job? Is it going to be a threat to my home, my country? So there's a lot of issue involved there now. So this uncanny valley, I think some of you probably heard of it. As the robot gets smarter and smarter, when it becomes more and more human-like, it comes to a point that we really resent it. It's really spooky to us. We don't like it. Okay, it's too spooky for us. Okay, so if really look like a robot without a head, just I was walking around, if just a hand, wow, that's okay. Wow, if it has a face and looks like a humanoid robots, and it becomes very smart, then I might have this eerie feeling. I may not like it. So this has been shown in many studies. So once you have something that's very close to a human likeness, it sort of drop into this zone, the negative zone. People don't like it. How many of you watched the movie recently, the Hollywood movie, The Creator? Creator, okay. The movie is nothing much. But one thing really struck me in the movie. They have this robot, llama, a monk. Robots as monk. Okay, llama is a region in the western side of China. So they'll be holding this thing and turning around. It's like a monk. Robot is a monk. So it's praying all the time. So I was making a joke a few months ago when I was having this farewell party with somebody in Hong Kong. I say, is the monk, is the robot monk, robot llama, praying for us to our God? Or is it praying to us? Because we created the robot. And it's praying. Who's it praying? Praying to us or praying to our God? So very tricky now. And that becomes spooky. Okay, it's too close to human. So as I said, I don't remember much about the movie, except that US is against the robot, and some other country are trying to protect the robots. But that part really, it's a bit eerie to me. Why you have a robot that's praying all the time? Okay. And it's praying to who? Okay, praying to us or praying for us? And we are doing some study on this. This is our Japanese colleague is not here. This Banruku puppet. And it's a Japanese, this came from Japan, this uncanny valley. This one to me is spooky, but Japanese love it because it's very close to their culture. So this uncanny valley may have something to do with culture as well. Okay, may have something to do with culture as well. So we are looking at this one from different angle. Okay, we are looking at, so now we are looking at IQ and EQ. High IQ, what's the result? High EQ, what's the result? Okay, so next year, if I come back for this RobotWorld, I may have more results to share with you. So what's the future? We're talking about adoption. Are we going to work with robots? Are we going to adopt these humanoid robots? Now, Stephen Hawking is probably not too much of a fan of AI. He said that it will either be the best thing that's ever happened to us, or it will be the worst thing. And if we are not careful, it may very well be the last thing. We will be terminated. Well, of course, people like me watch the Terminator. A lot of you are very young, probably they know much about Terminator, the Terminator movies. That's the one at the bottom. Now, Geoffrey Hinton, the recent Nobel Prize winner, he just won the Nobel Prize, probably about 2 weeks ago. Geoffrey Hinton, Nobel Prize in Physics. He's an AI godfather, the godfather of AI. So this thing may get more intelligent than us and could decide to take over. And we need to worry now about how we prevent that happening. So Geoffrey Hinton, he was with, I think, Google. He quit Google so that he can talk about this thing against AI. Now, Elon Musk, before that he was very against AI. Now he says that he predicts 80 chance of prosperity. As I mentioned, he's thinking of a future of plentiful and 20% chance of annihilation. We will be terminated. Okay. Elon Musk's current stand on AI. Jack Ma thinks that AI poses no threat to humanity. His basic argument, human has heart. AI doesn't have heart. Not in the sense of organ, but we have the heart, but AI doesn't have heart. So that one, I don't buy it too much. Okay. Jeff Bezos said AI is more likely to save us than destroy us. So the opinions are somewhat divided. Right, so some people will think that AI will be good for us. Some will think that AI is not good for us. Okay, we will see how. I think the key thing is that how we manage it. Okay, technology is technology. How we manage it, how we govern it is more important than the technology itself. And if we have ANI, artificial narrow intelligence, not so much of a problem. We can manage it. Artificial general intelligence, very risky. Once we hit artificial super intelligence, we are nothing. Okay, so much smarter than us. Would you care about an ant on the floor? Just step over it. Yeah, an ant is an ant. Yeah, so we are probably, once we hit ASI, artificial super intelligence, we will be like ants. Okay, to them, we are nothing. Okay, don't have to bother too much about us. All right, so that's my look at this adoption issue of this Industry 5.0. Okay, thank you.